idea was to ultimately plant and to have beds and get the community to own the beds, rent them out. However, there was a gentleman named David Camps. He was a member's son from our church, and he heard about the Gladiolus Food Pantry. So he contacted them, and then they needed some fresh food. So instead of deciding to rent it out, we just gave it all to them. Actually, during our first work day, sadly, his father, I think he was like 94 at the time, passed on. And here he was, the son, and working on this. So then we named it Camps Memorial Garden after his father, Tom Camps. So his name was David Camps. Since then, that was year one. Year two, we've been really partnering majority with the Gladiolus Food Pantry. So we have about at least 3 or 4 folks from the Gladiolus Food Pantry who come out here in the garden every Tuesday. They come out here, they harvest, they get things going.
Community fellowship.
Correct. I think it was last spring. We actually had a group from Fgcu. I want to say about 20 folks who came out here, and they, for their classes, they took, is it Cliprium?
Yeah.
And they took that. They're 2 professors, and they all had, I think they had a project about, what's that called?
It was like their sustainability project.
Yeah, something like that, but like home gardening, small gardening within, I don't know.
Oh, permaculture?
Anyway, but they came here in the community, and literally a whole Saturday, we had a whole Saturday open, and they had demonstrations, and they explained how to garden and so forth. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
So we partnered with them. So, but throughout our time, we've had several folks from the Fgcu. We've had, on Saturdays when it first got started, we've had like up to 30 people at a time come. Probably every Saturday for the first 6 months, we had 30 folks come, mostly students. And then as we've gone, we more have groups of like 3 to 4. So.
And then I know you talked to us about how the hurricane ruined the old compost machine. Did it also destruct the garden at all?
The garden actually survived pretty decent.
Okay.
That was mainly, well, this tree got bent. You can kind of see, and obviously behind us got bent too. This tree right here got bent. Ultimately, that was just after the springtime, from summer to fall, it looked like a zoo. Sprinkler system, we raised up our sprinkler heads. But now we still have the Wednesday night dinner, still called Well Fed Wednesday. I'm not quite sure why. But now we give half the proceeds to different charities.
And for those dinners, do you guys use some of the food from the garden?
We do. For salads. We do. It's kind of neat.
Do you guys try to keep like a crop rotation all year round, or is it kind of just more of a seasonal thing?
Well, just the 3 months in the summer,
Okay.
Yeah. Now this year, Dan did something a little different. He tried to plant a certain amount, like he spaced it out a week or 2. So it wouldn't be a huge bunch every, So we want to make sure every Tuesday we can bring something to the pantry. And just so you know, the Gladiolus Food Pantry is open on Wednesdays, 2 different times, and they are very appreciative of it.
That's part of do you know, like, roughly about how much has been donated to that food pantry, or on average, what do you guys donate?
We donate at least I would say a good SUV load of lettuce to radishes. Today we had 50 radishes, I guess.
Okay.
Cilantro is huge. They love cilantro.
Really?
Tomatoes, green beans. We've had a few carrots too.
And you try to do that. How often do you?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday
Once
you're
we
trying to
going,
get them.
Step 1. You will cut 2 pieces of plywood into 2 different circles, each with a radius of 10.5 inches. Step 2. You will cut two 2x4 pieces of plywood into 26 inches of length. You will also cut two 1x4 pieces of plywood into 24 inches of length. Step 3. You will cut one piece of PVC piping into 35 inches of length. You will also cut a piece of rebar so that it is a little bit longer than the PVC so it may fit through it. Once the construction of all the pieces has been finalized, we will begin to build the compost machine. First, you will take the 1x4s and place them on the ground. You will now take each of the 2x4s and connect them with screws through a drill. Once you fit the wire meshing around the two drums, you will now staple it secure to each drum. Once it is stapled securely, you will take wire cutters and you will cut a hole-shaped door in the wire. This hole should be big enough for a shovel to fit in.